Hi everyone, happy Fridays. Welcome to lecture 5. Today is a Friday, so I'm not going to assign a lot of assignment for you to complete today. So today's class, we're going to talk about budgeting in sports organizations. So if you look at the content for today, we'll be talking about two financial statements. One is income statement, one is balance sheets. And the second one, we're going to talk about budgeting process, and also we're going to talk about 4 budgeting methods that we use in the organization. So we have 1 reading for you to do, only 1 lecture video for you to watch, and also it's not long at all. I think it's a 30 minutes videos, and here's the PowerPoints. So when you're done with today's readings and watching today's videos, you can complete 1 extra credits quiz. As I mentioned previously, I know some students did not do a great job in the second quiz, maybe the first quiz, maybe the online discussion. So the extra credit quiz is that you will be able to get up to 10 points in this class, which will help you improve your grade in this class. If you missed something in the past, which is not a big issue and problem, you can use these opportunities to improve your grade. So I'm giving you 3 days to work on this extra credit quiz. So make sure you do all the readings and watch all the video before start working on the quiz. Okay, so this is the thing that you have to do for today's class. In this short video, I'm mainly going to talk about the group assignment that you have to complete in this class. As I mentioned in the first lecture, we have 2 assignments in this class. One is an individual assignment, another one is a group assignments. For the individual assignments, you were asked to write a strategic plan for Miami Redhawks. Right. For the group projects, the assignment is related to develop a budget. So for the group assignment, it's actually a case study. As we talk about, we have 21 students signed up for this class. So I asked Canvas to put you guys into 7 groups. So which means each group, we have 3 students will be working together to complete these group projects. So if you click group projects, you will be able to see what this group project will look like. So this group project, I'm giving you about 10 days to complete. You could submit it on 21st of the January, so which is the Monday. For this group project, so basically we'll give you a case study. In this case study, so this university called Little State University. So initially, they already developed their budgets. However, they just got a new messenger. They say the state decided to cut the state budget for $800,000. So which means you will have to go and justify the budget you create for next year. Because initially you're planning to spend a lot of money, but now you have to think about how you'll be able to reduce your expense and also increase the revenue generations in order to make up those deficits, right? So this $800,000 for you to make up. So that's a lot of money. So 3 of you need to work together to complete for this project. So this group project proposal, you have to do 4 things. The first things, so you need to come up with the 3 ideas how you're able to cut the expense. So I would recommend you to read this reading very carefully, highlight those very key suggestions, and you can use some of the suggestions for the readings. And the second thing is you need to have 3 ideas to think about how you'll be able to increase the revenues, right? So we talk about the profit is equal to the differences between the revenue and expense. So the best way to increase the profit is we need to go and increase the revenue, and at the same time we are going to reduce expense, right? So since we're currently losing $800,000 next year, so we need to think about a way how we are able to make up those deficits. So in addition to come up with the 3 ideas, so you need to make sure one of the idea need to come up from your own, right? So I know the reading recommend you to do something, but you also need to come up with some idea by your own. So you will have to go and discuss to think about how you'll be able to generate more revenues. So for each of the idea, you're not just letting me know how you're going to increase or decrease the revenue or expense, I'm also want you to go and justify. Think about why this is a great idea, why we could do this. So justify all the idea you come up with. And also the last one, I want you to come up with a short summaries of when you're making these decisions, which stakeholders will be impacted significantly by the decision you made. For instance, if you desire to fire, like, let's just give an example, like baseball teams coaches, you need to justify why you want to fire baseball teams coaches, right? And also think about who will be impacted most. Maybe the players, maybe the coach itself, maybe the fans will be impacted by this. So you have to go and justify, explain who will be impacted by the decision you made. So also here, I also want to emphasize here is you're not in the positions of cutting the sports or maybe slashing the scholarship dollars. So you cannot say, so we're going to cut the entire baseball teams because they're spending a lot of money but not generating enough money for next year. You cannot do that decision at this point. And also you cannot say we're going to cut student scholarships in order to reduce the spend. You cannot come up with an idea like this. So you need to think about something else that can help you to make up those big deficits. Right, so to complete these assignments, I prepared 4 documents for you. The first document is case study Excel. You click on the link, you'll be able to read the entire case study. I will recommend you to read this case study very carefully, highlight all the things they recommend to you, give you a better idea what this university is currently facing right now. And also this one, the group one, is you click the link on it, you'll be able to know who you'll be working with for these group projects. So as I say, we have 7 groups. Each group will have 3 members. Make sure you need to reach out to your group members as early as possible, then you guys can start working on it as early as possible. Don't wait until last minute. I have to let you know some of our students currently taking this online class not in the United States. You guys may be in a very different time zone. So make sure you guys to reach out with each other early and work on the things early, and submit this assignment early will be great. Don't miss the deadline. And also for this class, you have to submit 2 documents. First document is the worksheet. The second document is the data. I actually provide you the data, the Little State University budget data. So this data document is Excel sheet, which is a very, very interesting document. So this document lists all the proposals, like budget proposal for next year. So how they're going to spend money, how they're going to make money. So it's very clear and let you have a very, very good idea about what they're planning for. Right now, as I talked about previously, the state allocation, initially the state were planning to give $800,000 on the athletic department, but they decided to cut this money. So you're losing this money right now, right? So when you don't have that new revenue, you just remove that. You say, hey, state cut $800,000. When you made that changes, currently the entire plan is you're losing $751,000. So you have to make up this big deficit. So you need to come up with the idea, right? So this Excel sheet is actually very interesting because it is a living document. So for instance, I would just give you an idea, right? If I decided to, for instance, I'm gonna fire one of the assistant coach, right? I just come up with this idea, right? So in this table, you can see there's old revenue, there's a new revenue. You can make a change on these new revenues. I can just say, okay, I don't need to have a offense line coach, right? So I can just fire him. I can just delete this one, and you find out when you made a change here, this one has also made a change, right? So there's a change. It's like this. You can just say, fire the coach, right? And help you say how much money. And when you made a change here, the entire document actually made a change as well. When you go back and look at those total profit here, is initially it was 753,000, now change back to 690,000, where the entire document, the number will be changes. So you can, play around with this, make a lot of changes. You say, I don't think it's a great idea. I can't fire the coaches. I would just add him back. The money would go back to what it was in the past. Right, it's a very interesting document. You can play around, come up with some great idea, and complete this assignment. So the ultimate goal is at the end, after you adding all the money and cutting all those money, here need to become a zero or even positive number. That's something we're looking for. Make sense? Okay. So this is about the data. And the last one is a worksheet. The worksheet is basically, I provide you a document. You can just use this document to organize your assignment. So as I say, this assignment, you come up with 3 ideas of cutting revenue and 3 ideas of cutting expense and increase revenues, right? So I list here, you basically just say, hey, I would like to, fire one of the football coaches. So I'm cutting expense. Right? Why? Justify a reason why I need to fire these coaches. Right? So they just come up with 6 ideas. So I give you the places where you can work on it. And then you will also need to, the second question you have to answer is, what's the philosophy guide your group, the decision-making process in balancing the budgets? So what will be the philosophy? You can provide some explanations here. Last thing is, I want you to go and think about the short-term and long-term impact of your decision-making. So for instance, every decision you make, all those stakeholders like students, athletes, students, coaches, administrators, fans, vendors, sponsors, how their interests may be impacted by all the decisions you make. So this is the, you have to come up with the 4 different things. Okay, this is the assignment you have to complete for the group project. Again, the deadline for completing this group project is, is the 21st. It's the 21st of the January at midnight. So each group, you only need to submit 1 submissions. In this submission, you need to include 2 documents. One is the data file, these Excel files. So I would like to see how you cut the expense and how you increase the revenues to meet this goal. Second one, I would like to see the worksheet, and you will have to come up with the idea, summarize all your idea, and complete this worksheet. So you have to submit 2 documents, 1 Excel file, 1 these worksheet documents. If you have any questions about this group project, email me and let me know. You can send me a messages internally on the Canvas, or you can just shoot me an email directly to my email address. If you have any questions about these group projects, just let me know. All right, this is the video for today, and I hope you could have a great job on completing the extra credit quiz. And also, you can start working on these group projects. Again, don't forget to submit your first individual assignments next Mondays at midnight. So I'm waiting to read your assignments. Okay, that's it for today. Enjoy your weekend. We'll see you guys next time.